Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Flag Plus Football's First and Goal podcast. I'm Brent Bodkin, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host Quaysie Maule. What's going on? Hopefully everything's going good for you guys. The weather is getting pretty decent outside. The snow is clearing up a bit, although I think this weekend we're getting a little bit more snow, but let's keep it positive here. Quaysie, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Also, I agree with you. The weather is clearing up. It's nice to be in some good weather that's not as cold as shit.
Yeah, I hear you. I didn't fully ditch my winter jacket, although a couple times last week I didn't rock it. Actually, it was last Wednesday and Thursday. Same thing today. Went to work, went to the gym before. No winter jacket. I'm gonna score a keep
Mhm.
later tonight. May have to put it back on. We'll see what happens. Anyways, again, positive mindset, right? All right, so this week we have another action-packed podcast for you guys. Quaysie and I are going to be picking our Division 4 All-Stars, so make sure to get on and vote. Again, as always, 8 players. We're going to mix it up from the Division 4A, Division 4B. So again, 8 players, a quarterback, a rusher, receivers, defensive back, so on and so forth. So let's start that off. Division 4. So did you go first last week?
It's 7 o'clock.
I believe I went first last week, so it's gonna be your
Okay.
turn. Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
I just want to also point out to the viewers and stuff that if you play in a higher division, so it depends how you look at it, but sorry, if you play in a lower division, right? And we can't. Well, depends on the situation. But if you're a well-known player in Division 3, you're not going to be an all-star for Division 4.
Yeah.
Like, just to let the viewers know, if are people wondering why I was not an all-star, it's because, well, one, maybe we just didn't choose you as an all-star, but also if you play in a different division, we can't pick you to that division because you play in a lower one. Just to, because I got a few questions asking me, hey, I was an all-star for Division 5, and I was like, do you play in Division? I go, I played Division 3. I'm like, how many games have you played? Oh, like 5. I'm like, so you're current on that roster? Like, yeah. So just to let the viewers know that that's sometimes the reason, or again, it's because we didn't take you, and I mean, it happens.
I mean, I got some of those same questions as well. I just told them it was Quasey's fault. I said it was on you. Like, Quasey said he hates your guts. That's why he didn't pick you, female and male. He can't stand any of you. He said, can't stand you. He's not picking you. You suck. No.
All right.
No, yeah.
There's that too.
All right, so let's hop into it. Okay, so I'm picking first. A lot of good quarterbacks to choose from, man. I'm going to start off with the QB. I think that's the most important position in all football, tackle or flag.
Okay.
I was torn. There's a couple of guys I was looking at, but I'm going to decide. I'm going to roll with Emil Plant from Speed Academy.
Okay.
Yeah, a little different. I saw the 69% completion percentage. I was like, all right, he has 40 TDs, which is the most out of anybody in 4A and 4B. So I'm gonna roll with him. After you pick your quarterback, I'm gonna tell you some of the other guys that I was looking at because there's a lot of worthy contenders. But I'm gonna go, Emil Plant from Speed Academy is my first overall pick and my starting quarterback.
Okay, yeah. 40 TDs, 8 INTs, 3 sacks. Nice. It's good. All right, well, because you took away your quarterback, I'm just going to take him out here. I'm going to choose my quarterback as my last pick. So I'm going to go with Tyler Gerber.
Yeah.
Put him up. Yeah, so I think that's the strategy right now. Like, if you take a rusher fast, or you go with you could not take that player. So I'm gonna take Tyler Gerber. He plays for Killer Rays. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm gonna take Tyler
So,
Gerber. Plays for
I
Killer
saw him
Rays.
playing the other night. I saw him play Fat Bats.
Does he play for Big Fat Bats?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, okay. So wait, he's not.
Yeah. Can't take Gerber. Yeah, that's right. Can't take him. Division 3 team.
He's not
Excellent.
eligible. All right, so reprise my pick. I'm gonna take. I think he plays for. Oh, it's all these names, right? All these guys. I'm gonna take Jimmy.
Yep.
Marnaris,
I think.
Yeah, I don't think he plays for. I know he plays for Speed Academy because I've seen him play.
Yep.
I don't think he plays. He plays for Super. This Division 4 too. Oh my God, he plays. Never mind. He plays for a Division 3 team too.
Well then, this is off to a good start.
Not the best start. Okay. So I'm gonna go to Jesse Demi Grill.
Yeah. Okay. So he plays with
Plays
Gerber.
for.
Yeah, I think he plays for the Big Fat Bass as well, dude.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna double check
God!
that.
All
Yeah,
right.
I was scoring a game on Monday. Yeah, he plays as well.
Okay.
It's
I'm
awesome.
gonna go with Mike. I have lists for days, bro. I just didn't really. Okay,
I
I
feel
know
like it should
this.
be like a time allotment. It should be like the NFL draft where if you don't pick a certain amount of time, the pick goes to the next team.
Okay, I'm going with Mike Bed. I don't even know. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's last. Bad Bungie.
Wow. Hold on, let me look here. Just to see what team is he on.
West Island Boys.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
West
Oh,
Island.
yeah, Mike. I know Mike. Yeah, yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's good. Mike. He's suffered me a couple of times. Hold on, I can tell you exactly how to pronounce his last name. Let me just get it here. Mike. Yeah, he told me Mike. It's Mike Batty. Mike Batty Babungi. Yeah, Mike Batty Babungi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Solani. He's a good dude.
that's the guy. I've seen him play with West Island Boys a couple times.
Yeah, yeah,
Solid receiver, big body, really big
yeah,
body actually.
yeah. Long.
Able to box up people out, and he gets the touchdowns and he has to get it.
For sure,
So
for sure. Okay. That's a solid pick. Solid pick. And he's a good dude too. He's a really good dude. He can play offense. He can play defense. Okay. I'm gonna roll with my second pick. I'm gonna go back to the killer race. So I checked this guy. He's listed as playing in Division Three, but he's never played any games with the Division
okay,
Three team. So I made sure to check that out. Curtis Ryan.
yeah,
Curtis Ryan
okay,
from the Killer Rays. This guy's a stud on offense. 31 catches, almost 500 yards, 11 TDs, and on defense he leads Division 4A with 8 INTs and 4 pass deflections. He also has 20 tackles, so it tells you he knows how to deflag people. So Curtis Ryan is going to be my second pick.
yeah. I had him too on my list for defense, but I wanted to pull him up. For the meantime, I'm gonna go with Antoine Godet.
Yep. Okay. Yep. 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 That's
I'm
solid.
pretty
That's solid.
sure he does not play for their team.
Yeah, he also plays on Speed Academy. I know that. Let's check it out here. Antoine Gaudet.
Yeah, so I have him pulled up here. Yeah, exactly. He plays on Speed Academies,
Perfect.
Speed Academy. He has 6 INTs.
Okay.
CSO, yeah, 22 catches, 221 yards, so not too much, but five touchdowns. He's averaging 9.6 yards per catch, so it's pretty much a first down every catch. And he has 6 INTs, 3 bat downs, and 1 touchdown. Or he returned a touchdown. So a solid defender there.
Definitely. Definitely. Okay. That makes sense, man. That makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna roll. Gonna pick a two-way guy here. Uh, Actually, you know what? Let me correct myself here. I'm gonna give my team a little bit of size. I'm gonna go to Le Petit Carrots. I'm gonna pick Xavier Bro. So Xavier Bro, I think he used to play for the Champlain Cavaliers. I've played
Is
against
this
him
it's
last
4A or
time.
4B? Sorry.
This is I think Le Petit Carrot is 4B. I want to say. Let me just check that out. Le Petit Carrot, 4A. Sorry, 4A.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think it's 4A.
Yeah, yeah. Xavier Bro, getting great hands. He has a lot of size on him. 10 TDs so far. He knows how to create separation. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Xavier Bro. Is my next pick.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna continue going with my defense.
Okay.
You got me paranoid with these guys.
My work is done.
Um,
All right.
got me nervous now. Um, so this guy is new.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. I'm gonna go with Ben J. Tudu.
Okay. Okay.
He plays for the chosen one.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Yep. 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 Yep.
26 tackles. He knows how to tackle. 8 INTs, 3 pat downs, and 1 touchdown. And then
Okay.
offense, again, average player, 20 catches, 271 yards, 8 touchdowns, averaging 3.6 yards per catch.
Okay, I see him right here. Yeah, he could play. He could play. I remember talking to the quarterback of Saunders. I remember talking to him a couple weeks ago, and he was telling me about some of the guys. I actually had him on my list. He was going to be like a lower pick. I figured he was a rookie. Wasn't sure if you knew about him yet. Okay, so that's a solid ad. That is a solid ad for sure. Okay, so you got him. I'm gonna roll. Hmm. I'm gonna pick one of my guys. One of my guys that plays on my team usually in the spring. I'm gonna go with. Is he torn here? I should shoot my mouth off here. Okay, I'm gonna go for a two-way guy. So, guy that can play receiver, guy that can play D. Matt Peacock from Balls Deep.
Okay, I didn't even know.
Yeah, 9 TDs, 3 INTs, 21 tackles. First on the team with 21 tackles. He's a dude. So I score kept his game on Friday. They were playing, I think it was Kung Fu, Kung Fu, or Kung Pao. Hold on, let me just double check this here. Yeah, they were playing Friday, one of the replacement games in Saint Leonard, and he's a guy that I know. Like he goes all out. Like there's no taking plays off with him, offense and defense. He'll dive for balls. He'll dive to make tackles. He's a leader. He's a team guy too, and he's actually the guy who usually calls my defense. So I'm picking Matt Peacock on my team. The guy I'll go to war with anytime.
No, he's a. I know Matt. He's a solid defender. Surprised he's not playing in a higher division. To be honest with you, I know his team does struggle at times as their whole. So I know for them
Yeah,
it's sometimes hard to make that big jump, especially for winter to 2020, especially for winter this year. I think they would be a little out. There's a little out. Their
and there's no
comfort.
depth. Yeah, yeah,
So hopefully they do pretty good for Division Four.
yeah. I mean,
They play Division. Sorry, I'm just trying to pull up their. They play Division 4A, right?
yeah. They play 4A. Balls deep.
Yeah, I'm trying to. My computer's not cooperating today. Um.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes,
I'm gonna
4A.
I'm gonna I'm gonna bring them up
That's a
a
voodoo.
second. Just so people. Oh, there you
So
go. Oh, it's Z. Oh, Z.
yeah, I'm looking at it
Just
here.
to
They beat Kung Pao on Friday. Sorry, Thursday at Saint Laurent. Then they played on Sunday. A bit of an upset. They lost to Voodoo. It was kind of surprising, actually. 36-33. Looking at it here,
to Voodoo's.
yeah. Anyways, yeah. Again, solid
Yeah.
player. You can
No,
play
I
him on
just wanted to
offense, you can
pull.
play him on defense.
Yeah, no, solid player. I just wanted to pull him up on the screen so
Yeah,
everyone
no worries,
kind of
no
can
worries.
see who he
No
is.
problem.
All right, so he's there. I'm gonna go. So it's my pick now. I'm gonna go again. You have me paranoid with these guys now. No, but I'm pretty sure this guy hasn't played on either team. Usually plays on just this team, from what I know. I'm gonna go with. I don't even know how to pronounce his first name, but I think it's Joe. Sorry, uh, G. Carlo Rashella.
Wait, what team?
He plays for Wendiesel.
Okay.
Let's
Switching Carlo.
stats here. So he doesn't have the greatest stats. He has 5 INTs right now, 3 pat downs, 2 tackles, 4 games played. But I've seen this guy play. He plays for Wendiesel, so he plays
Yeah,
for a solid group. So I mean, there's a core type of group. But
yeah,
he's a baller. Like the fact that he's still playing, I find if he would play in a division, um, if he was playing in Division 3, he'd be fine. He'll be able
yeah,
to he'll be able to be like he'll be able to get around with it. Like he'll find his place very soon, like very fast. He
right.
understands concept and stuff. So he's a type of player that maybe he won't get you the maybe he won't show the stats as him being a leader where he has like 8 INTs or 10 INTs or pick six,
Mhm.
but he's a role player, so he fits the role and he does what he has to do. If the ball comes to him for the interception, he'll get it, and if he ends up being a lockdown defender for that side, he'll do it. So he kind of like reminds me how I play sometimes when I could be able to lock down the side and I don't get as many targets. So my stats wise, I don't show it, but I'm still the type of guy that would lock down that side, so I still do a huge thing for my team.
Okay, that makes sense. I've seen him play. Like, I know a couple of guys from Win Diesel, and it's a good team. Again, we've taught time and time again. It's a team that should be in Division 3 right now, not Division 4A or 4B or whatever. But no, he's a solid player. There's a couple of guys actually on that team who are definitely could play in Division 3 or higher. I know like Will Seabad, the quarterback for that team, he usually plays at the Trap Stars. So I think it's a higher division team with the Garber brothers and all that stuff. A couple of the guys do as well. So yeah, okay, that's a solid pick. Okay, I'm gonna roll with. I'm gonna go a little off the board here. So there's a guy. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I'm gonna start with. Let me go with him. Actually, I like this kid. He can ball. I'm gonna pick. So a guy I played with years and years ago. So I used to play with Frank K from Voodoo. He used to quarterback my team years ago, and he brought this guy onto the team. I didn't know him at the time, but he said this guy's a gamer. He's fast. He loves football. Kevin Marcel from
Okay.
Voodoo. You could put him anywhere in the field. I was scorekeeping his game on Friday. Statty Bear. You could put him at receiver. He could rush. He's a really good rusher. He played rusher on my team. He could play corner. He can shut guys down. He has speed. He has length, and he has no fear. Like he'll dive for balls. He'll do whatever. Try to go through people. 12 touchdowns already on the season as a receiver. He has 4 sacks, 5 pass deflections. Yeah, there you go. Kevin Marcel, stand-up guy too. He's a good guy, and then he watches the podcast. So hopefully he's gonna check this out because he was asking me about the podcast on Friday night. So I told him to make sure he tunes in. So yeah, I'm picking him on my All-Star team 100%.
Okay, good pick. No, I know Kevin. I played him a couple times. Solid receiver too. And sometimes you
Yeah.
don't realize how fast he is. A good amount of times you don't realize how quick he is. I
Yeah.
do want to tell you he does play for Bear Belly.
Oh, he does
For
really.
he
Oh,
does,
okay.
yeah,
All right.
he
I'll take
does.
him off. I'll take him off my list then. Okay, that's fair. I had no idea. I played against that team a million times. I've never seen him play, but okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think he was an add-on because they had a couple roster situations.
Okay, that's
So I
fine.
think
That's
he
fine.
kind of
Okay.
it's someone. Yeah, me too. You would never think that he'd be playing on a team like that. To be honest with
Yeah, he can. So he's that type of dude. Listen, I love Frank. Frank's a good dude. Kevin's the type of dude I think with an elite quarterback, he put up like monstrous numbers. I think the fact that he plays with Frank again, they're super tight. That's why they play together. Frank is not the most accurate deep passer, which is a strong part of Kevin's game. So Kevin, again, he has 12 touchdowns, which isn't bad, but I think he'd have more and more catches and more yards with a quarterback who was just a bit more accurate deep. But it is what it is. Okay, so I'll pivot away from that. Then I'm gonna roll with let's see here. I can go with him. You know what? I'm gonna pick another one of my guys that plays on my team. I'm gonna go with Richie Mondesir from Balls Deep.
you. Richie.
Yeah, my buddy Richie Rich. 5 INTs, 3 of them he returned to the house. He plays snapper. He plays slot. He's not the greatest snapper. I think he thinks he's awesome at snapper. Some of his snaps aren't the greatest, busting his balls here, but he's a solid receiver. You need a big play. You can hit him over the middle. That he makes his home over the middle. He's like a tight end. He makes his home over the middle of the field, and he has the speed. He has the strength. I'm actually going to see him in about 2 hours tonight. He's going to be scorekeeping with me in Laval. So definitely I want to get Richie on my team because he's a team player and he brings a lot of speed and physicality to the field.
Okay. No, I know Richie. Richie's a solid player. He's been playing a balls deep for a while now. That group of
Yeah.
guys. So no, he's good. Good base receiver player. I haven't. Yeah, snaps are not the best sometimes.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm gonna go with Nicholas Vaughn.
Yeah.
He plays for the Penetrators.
Yep. He's solid.
I've seen him play. A lot of these guys, I've seen them play once. I know I've seen them play.
He play
He's
a
been
lot.
playing for a while now.
Yeah.
He's been playing for a couple of seasons now.
Yeah.
Solid receiver. Stats right now: 33 catches, 298 yards, 13 touchdowns. So he's definitely a red zone target. He does get a lot of touchdowns, 9 yards per catch. So he's getting that first down when you need it. And yeah,
Even I like him because even on defense, he has 4 INTs. He brought one back to the house. I'm not gonna lie, that was gonna be my next pick. Actually, that was gonna be my second to
yeah,
last pick.
exactly. Yeah,
He's
he's
solid.
tall too.
Yeah.
He's a big defender. He's a tall
Yeah.
guy. And he also rushes at times too. I've seen him rush a couple times too, or
He,
he goes for that second quarter.
yeah. He's not the greatest quarterback. I've seen him throw. Like he has good size. Like he has that prototypical tackle quarterback size and length, but I mean, in a pinch, he could throw for you if you need him. Okay. All right, so that's solid, man. I'm gonna go a little off base here. There's a guy I noticed when I was finishing off my prep today. I'm like, you know what? Let me give this guy a shot. No one's really talking about him too much. I'm gonna go with Vincent Hamel from Coconuts.
I think I know. I think I know him now. That name's rings out.
Yeah, it rang a bell too when I saw it. And I was trying to look. I was like, no, I don't think I know him, but I know his
I
face. I've
think
seen.
I think he played junior Packers. I want to say I've seen him play junior Packers. He's like
Okay,
kind of
okay,
friends with a bunch of those guys. So
okay.
yeah, pretty sure he's a. Is he a
Yeah,
defender?
defender. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna yeah,
The,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure that.
yeah, five INTs, six pass deflections, 24 tackles. He's a guy. You could shut an area of the field down and roll with him.
Yeah, no, solid guy. I'm pretty sure he played junior Packers a couple years ago. Uh, good guy. I think he played for St. John's this year too. I want to say for CJ. I'm
Okay,
not completely sure. I could be wrong, but I think so.
nice.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Xavier Bratt from Les Petits Carats.
Yeah, that's what I took. I took him already, dude.
That was your first pick.
No, that was my third pick. I took him after Curtis Ryan.
Um,
Come on, man. You gotta keep up. You gotta keep up.
on my paper here, I just have a bunch. I have a bunch of X's. all, all these X's on my paper. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Okay.
I'm liking my team even more now, by the way.
Okay, I'm going to go with. Oh, this guy already plays. Can't Benjamin. No. No. All these guys play on so many teams.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when you get to Division 4, it's all these guys are playing Division 3. You have some guys that are playing Division 2.
Exactly, exactly.
And again, I'm paranoid now. So,
Good. My job is done.
all right. So I'm going to go with. You know what? I'm actually going to go. Let me just make sure. I'm going to go with. Yeah, I'm going to go with Patrick Saint.
Nice. Then I'm on. Yep.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm gonna go. He
Good.
also plays for Voodoo.
Yep.
He's a huge body,
Oh yeah.
huge receiver.
Yeah.
456 yards, 9 TDs, 9 touchdowns, 35 yards. I've played against him. I've watched him play. Big body. He moves way faster than you think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's been in the league for a while. He's been an All Star. I'm looking at it now. He's been an All Star for 10 years.
10
He's been
times,
all. He has 10 All Star. 10 All Stars.
yeah. Yep. Yep.
And yeah, that's my pick.
That's solid. That's solid. I'm not gonna lie. That was gonna be my last pick. I score kept his game again. Same with Kevin, right? And I've seen him play before. It's just I see Voodoo maybe once or twice a year. So last time I saw them was like the beginning of the fall season, and he was making play after play. And I was like, oh yeah, that's the same Patrick guy that's been there forever. Big body over the middle of the field. He'll go through people to catch the ball. He's not bad on defense either. Nah, definitely. Yeah, 10-time All Star. You can't go wrong with that. So that's a solid pick on your part because that was gonna be my last pick, 100%. Okay. I'm gonna go away. Okay, so I was gonna pick a rusher here because I mean there's a couple rushers to choose from, but I'm gonna use Kevin Marcel as my rusher because I think that's actually his best position on defense. I'm gonna go with another former college player. So formerly of Champlain and formerly of the Petit Carrots. I thought he was on the team, but he's not. He's playing actually with the Hooligans right now, and that's Mike Fafard. So
Mike,
Michael Fafard, Fafard for the
but plays
Hooligans.
4A or 4B. Sorry.
I think it's for the Hooligans. Hold on, it's a good question. Um, should know this. The Hooligans are.
I think they're B.
I think they're B as well. To be honest with you. Yeah, 4B. Division 4B, the Hooligans. Yeah, so I'm gonna pick him. I was just looking at his stats. He's one of the last guys I looked at, and I was like, yeah, I know him from Champlain. 42 catches, 422 yards. So he's first in 4B in catches. 11 TDs, which is nothing to spit at. And even on defense, he can help out. 3 INTs, 6 pass deflections. Yeah, he's definitely a guy I want on my team. He's a playmaker, Mike Fafard. I've seen him in tackle and I've seen him in flag a couple of times. He can make plays. So Mike Fafard is going to be my last pick.
I think that's your. No, I think you have one more pick after
Get rid of it.
because I'm at one, two, three, four, five. I'm at six. So you definitely. Oh yeah, no, you definitely. Yeah, I'm on six, so it's gonna be seven. So you have one more pick after.
I have 8
Pretty
here
sure.
on my list, but I will take your word for it then. Okay. Because I have Emil Plant, Curtis Ryan, Xavier Bro, Matt Peacock, Kevin Marcel. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
Richie
and Richie.
6, Vincent 7, Mike is 8.
Oh, okay. So maybe
I have
I'm
8
just
guys.
wrong.
I'll take a ninth if you want. I don't mind, but I mean,
No, it's
do it
fine.
at
I'm
8. Yeah,
just. Yeah, I didn't probably word it right. One, two,
no worries.
three. Okay. Um. All right. So I'm kind of. All right. Anyways, Michael, I put Mike up for people to see.
Yeah,
Here's his stats.
solid player.
I'll go with my quarterback now. I'm gonna take Justin Goodman.
Okay, the penetrators.
So
Yep.
yeah, I'm surprised you didn't take Justin and you went with
Emil, I'll tell you why. I've seen the penetrators play a lot. Uh, I wrote for this past fall season. I think they were in the division I was writing for. I've seen them play a couple of times from scorekeeping this year. I like their team. I respect their team. I just don't think he's a good quarterback, but he's not like I wouldn't consider him top 3 in Division 4B or 4A or Division 4 in total. No shade on
okay.
him. He's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. He's a better quarterback than I would be. I just don't think he's a lead. I think there's about 2 or 3 guys who are at that really top level. I just wouldn't. I put him just outside, and I think with Plant just taking the guy who leads everybody in both divisions with touchdown passes, and again a nearly 70% completion percentage, which for me is huge, as we talk about all the time. That's why I rolled with him instead of a guy like Goodman.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I was looking at the same thing. I was looking at Plon, and then the only difference is that Justin played 8 games. The Plon played 7,
Yeah,
so he has one full game on him. So that's an extra like 4 or 5 touchdowns.
yeah,
But it's just the INTs. Justin's only thrown 5, so he's
true,
averaging
true.
maybe 0.6 a game. So that's maybe 3. You probably throw at least one every second game, which is pretty good how I see it.
Yeah,
And Emily has thrown 8, so he's throwing exactly one a game. So that could be. I find that's maybe game changing to a point where a
yeah,
lot of times where whoever gets that first INT is kind of momentum switch change. So the
for
fact
sure,
that
for sure.
Han is throwing one per game. He's throwing 8, so one maybe something. Maybe, he's throwing 8 right now, so one per game, averaging. So
Hmm.
that's why I was kind of confused. I wasn't sure, but again, you've seen both these guys play. I've seen both of them play as well.
Hmm.
Not as much, but I'm kind of going stat wise here.
Right, right. No, I hear you. I hear you. That's another reason why I didn't pick a guy like from Ball Z, like Justin Weir. Good buddy of mine. He quarterbacked my team a bit this past fall, and he he, he wears number 2. I was thinking Johnny Manziel. I think that's why he wears number 2. He leads the league in rushing. Well, leads Division 4 in rushing. For like almost 300 yards and 25 carries, right? And he can throw the ball deep. He can make all the throws. It's just the INTs, right? He has 9 INTs in 8 games, which again works out to more than one INT a game. And a guy who going into the season I would have automatically assumed would be the best quarterback in Division 4, period, no matter whether it's 4A and 4B, would be Will Seabag. But then I'm looking at his stats and I'm like, all right, 31 touchdown passes. I'm like, okay, that's nothing to spit at. It's not a bad thing. Just I expected more of him. Only has 2 INTs, which is huge. Just I figure with a lot of the weapons that he has on his team, he has a couple of his brothers on the team, he has a couple of guys that he's been with for a long time. I expected more than 31 touchdown passes. But mind
Yeah.
you,
So
for you,
yeah, continue. Sorry, go.
he's only played 6 games, but I mean, I still expected more than 31 touchdown passes for
Yeah, so
Seabag.
I feel like also a lot of times situations like that is that their team is well rounded, right? So he doesn't
Yeah,
have to throw for six, 7 touchdowns per game, or even 5 at some point. I think he gets away with 4. They'll get their 2 interceptions per game. Sometimes they
yeah,
return a
yeah,
touchdown, or they just get the defensive stops. So as you know, they say defense wins. Well, they say defense wins championships. Defense also wins games, and it makes your stats. You don't have to have impressive stats, and sometimes you don't get impressive stats. Sometimes you don't get to throw for all those yards. You don't get to throw
yeah,
for those extra touchdowns because one, the game is you're more in control of the game, or you're getting too many sometimes pick sixes, or you're just making those turnovers where you don't have to go score for teams. You're four touchdowns is more than enough to win a game 28 to like 12, and then you're fine. You're not really pushing it as much. So sometimes sometimes you get in those situations where you don't have to throw the ball as much.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
okay.
That's true.
So our teams are done.
Okay.
We'll get this posted soon for you guys to vote who built the better team. As of as of right now, we've done women's 2, women's 1, division 6A, 6B, division 5A, 5B, and then division 4A, 4B. So we'll soon have division 6A and 6B out, and 6A and 6B, and we'll have the division 5A and 5B out for you guys to build. As right now, I lead 2-0 on built teams as the for your votes that you guys voted on Instagram. So we're
Yeah,
up 2-0.
yeah. Make sure to get out and vote. And again, I looked the other day because I know you're gonna smoke me on the women's 1 team again because you picked everyone from Sub Zero pretty much in Cayenne, and I think it was like 50 something to 38 or 60 to 30. I'm like, all right, yeah, that sounds about right. All right.
No, but yeah, you're right. I did pick a lot of the girls from Sub Zero, but I mean, it was like they're all stars, Like I can't.
100%.
There's a couple girls that we did not even pick, And I was kind of going back. I was like, oh, I could have picked that, and then I was like, oh no, Brent could have picked them. That's not my fault.
That's what I tried to do. I tried to just spread it out a little bit. You got to spread the love a little bit. Yes, I could pick Sarah Parker and Sabina Gervais and I don't know, Laurence, if she was, I don't think she's playing this season. I could pick all of them, of course, Jessica and all of them, and then maybe one or two other girls from some other team. But I chose to be fair to everybody, spread the love and make it a bit more challenging and competitive. At least one of us was going to do that.
It's fine. Do what you please. I'll take the W's.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take the W's. All right, so let's move on to let's go into the 6B right now.
Yeah. All right. So looking at it here, looking at the schedule, there's one game coming up tonight at Stady Barris, the Stables and the Nard Dogs. Sorry, that's gonna wrap up week 10. Looking at the games played this past week, a lot of blowouts for the most part, which is always disappointing to see. Actually, every single game was a blowout. So, I mean, you guys could go on to the schedule. Go on to the schedule for 6B and just check those games out. Like I said, one game going on tonight. There's a ton of games going on this weekend. We got the Cougars and TD Blitz. We got Big Assets, Bloodline, Panthers, Towers, FT. And the weekend wraps up with Balls Deep against Passing TDs. Monday, we have Emperors of the Tete against FC Bing. I'm actually looking forward to that game. That should be a pretty good game. Spartans bet the over. And then Tuesday, Passing TDs and Spartans. And then again, next Wednesday, a week from now, is over underachievers against the Nard Dogs.
Yeah. No, there's some good games that's going to be happening. Something that also is pretty well. No, it doesn't really mix up the schedule as much. But Panthers beat the Impact, so they kind of jumped them in their rankings. And also we have where is it? Was it no, that's about it. That's the only game that kind of looked out to me that I kind of realized. That's about it for my side. And then coming up this week, again, the Nard Dogs haven't played in a while actually. So the Nard Dogs are coming back. They're actually going to be playing. Only have one game this week. Yeah, Nard Dogs only play one game this week. So they're playing. Yeah. They're playing over underachievers that are trying to get into a playoff spot. Right now, they're number 13 of the 12 teams that make it. So big win. It's not like a huge. It's like not the big game, but it's kind of a big game because the Nard Dogs are looking for the first win of the season, and overachievers are trying to get that win to get a better seeding into the playoffs.
Yeah, so that's kind of Well, that's next Wednesday. Like I said, tonight they're also playing against the Stables tonight as well.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry.
No. I'm actually looking forward to the FC Bing and Emperors Retrete game because that game's for first, right? I mean, FC Bing 7-1, right? They have 14 points. Emperors Retrete, they're 2 points behind them, right? So the first place is definitely going to be on the line. And now when, like I said, Balls Deep is taking passing TDs, Balls Deep is in the mix, right? Balls Deep with 12 points as well, right? So they want us to make sure they
Yeah,
stay in the mix, passing TDs in fourth, right? But pretty much
yeah,
the top four teams are playing each other this week in Division 6B. So that, I think that's awesome. Like
yeah.
it's
That's gonna be
very
really
good
fun,
games.
especially to see who wins and who loses. Just to kind of see, you're gonna see who's actually the better team. So
Exactly,
yeah, especially
exactly,
if you get
exactly.
blown out, it's gonna give us okay. This team's really the real deal. Especially for Balls Deep, a team that's 6-0 right now.
Yep.
For them, this is a huge game for them because they're playing a team that's also 6-1. So they beat a couple teams. The fact that there's 18 teams in this division, so they did beat a couple teams that maybe Balls Deep haven't played. So it also gives them
Yeah.
a fact like, oh, we beat one of the top teams now. Like we're actually the top team.
Exactly. Exactly. All
All
right.
right. So
Let's
let's
hop over
go
to 6A.
to yeah.
Okay, so 6A, looking at it right now, the schedule this week. Are there any other games coming up? Uh there's one game up tonight, actually, Statty Bear as well. So TD Brothers against 90s Classics. So that again is going on tonight, 9 p.m. at Statty Bear. Again, today we're filming this on Wednesday. This weekend is only three games this weekend. That's a little surprising. Vengeance and the Creamsicles, Mean Machines, Swiffer Wet Jets, and Angry Birds versus Unseen. Monday, there's a couple of games, about three of them. 90s Classics is in action again against Chomedy Chose. That's actually the game I'm looking forward to the most next week. That'll be Monday at Papineau. There's VDB Crescent, Gold Rush, Chomedy Chose again. They're in action against Bum City. That should be a pretty decent game as well. VDB Crescent is again in action Tuesday against the Swiffer Wet Jets. 90s Classics against the 90s Classics is playing like three games in 7 days. So they're also playing Me Machines that'll be in Chateauguay next Wednesday. And then it finishes off on next Wednesday as well. Sadie Bear with LVL Jack Boys against the TD Brothers. So a lot of big games
Okay.
coming up
So
for
yeah,
6A.
a lot of games. Shout out to Angry Birds dropping 58 points on BDB Crescent. It's
Yeah.
always surprising. It's surprising when you see teams score that many points because like sometimes like you see low scoring games like you have Unseen versus Red Zone Blitz 6-13. Like it's a low scoring game and then all of a sudden Angry Birds 58 Crescent 22.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
you get
yeah.
it's like you go from like non extreme to super extreme.
Let
So
me ask you, Crazy. What's the most amount of points you've given up as a defense that you've been on?
it's hard to tell. I'm sure. I believe over 60.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I believe it was like 60. I want to say 60. Yeah, I believe it's 60.
Now,
If
was
you
it a
want to laugh,
shootout? Like, sorry.
no, I think we played the Braves, and I think they just pumped us.
Oh,
To be honest with
right,
you, I
right.
think we played the Braves. I think they just pumped us. Like, they just kept scoring, and it came to a point like we didn't care anymore. I think I was playing with
Okay.
KGP too.
Right,
Or
right, right.
50 or 60. I know it was high scoring. So I remember I went, I'm like, did they really score 50 points on us? But it was the point was sometimes if you're having a bad game, you're just having a bad game.
It's true.
It is
It's true.
when I played at Vanier and we played Lennoxville, they dropped like 73 on us. In tackle
Wow.
football, yeah, it was like
Man,
76 no, like 63 to
man.
10. I was that's if someone asked you what's the worst loss you ever had, like as soon as you said that, what's the most points that scored on you? That's the only memory I had, like losing to Lennoxville in the semifinal 63 to 10.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and we were the top seed, so
Oof. Okay, that's gonna sting.
yeah.
That is gonna
How about you?
sting.
What's
Wow.
the most points
Oh
plus score on
man.
you?
The most was so before playing Concordia, I played junior ball. So I played for the Chateauguay Raiders, and we played. They had like a bunch of teams. They had a couple of teams in Ottawa, like the Rough Riders and the Sooners, like early 2000s. And we got smoked by the eventual champs, which were the Rough Riders. I think they beat us. I want to say it was like 45 to like 10 or 45 to 13 or something. And I remember sitting there as a kid. I played Sunny. We won a fair share of games at Sunny. If we lost a fair share, never got beaten that bad in my life. And I remember sitting on the sideline. It was like the middle of the fourth quarter. I took off my helmet and I was just like, this is the worst feeling ever. I never want this to happen again. I've
Mm,
lost more games since then, but like never by such a big score. Like 40, I think
yeah,
it ended up being, I think it was like 47 to 10 was the final. And I was just like, wow, this is just a horrible feeling. And I remember going into that game thinking they were the first place team. They were undefeated that year. So there's us. There was like Greenfield Park. There was North Shore, a bunch of different teams. And I'm like, all right, we were the lower seed for sure. I think we were the 4 seed. They were the 1 seed. I'm like, okay, we had played them in the regular season twice, so we lost both games, but one was close, and the other one, our starting quarterback got hurt, so we ended up losing, I think, by about 12 points, so 2 touchdowns basically. I'm like, okay, you never go into a game thinking you're gonna lose. I'm like, okay, we came in, we had a really good week of practice. We had lost them in the regular season about 3 weeks before the regular season finished. So we won our 3 final games. We were going in on a roll. We added a new running back. He was running the rock. He was really good. Our quarterback, I think Kevin Wyeth was our quarterback actually. Yeah. Kevin was our quarterback. Yeah. There's a,
Okay.
some of these guys like Kevin, Aked,
Yeah. Or
Keyshawn. I played with all
okay.
these guys. We all played tackle. Kareem Bennett. We all played tackle together. Yeah, man. They whipped their ass, man. They whipped their ass, and I was like, yeah, this can never happen again. It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's not a good feeling.
No, it's not.
Not a good feeling at all.
Good
Uh,
motivation though. Use it as motivation. Anyways,
yeah, I
yeah.
know. For real, you kind of tell yourself this is never going to happen to me again, and then it happens to you again. And you're like, oh, this is actually never going to happen
This is
to
never happening. Yeah, exactly.
me. But,
All right, all
all
right.
right. So I guess we're pretty much done with Division 6A. There's nothing really crazy. The rate and the standings are no one really moved. You still have the top dogs, Jack Boys, Chamonix, Miguel Swim Team, Classics. Same thing. Classics has a big, as we said, we're saying they play tonight. They have a big game
Yeah,
versus TD Buddies. They're kind of fighting for a playoff spot right now. So for them, it's a big game, and then Classics is trying to stay.
yeah,
They're trying to stay into the top of the pack. So again, there's all that, and then we have a big there's a big week coming up, week 11, for a lot of these teams for that are fighting for playoff spots or just trying to stay in the playoff spot.
yeah. You're right. Like, yeah, like I said, TD Brothers taking on '90s Classics again. Like that. That's a big game, and taking on the LVL Jack Boys. So it's again the first place team taking on the team hanging on to the last playoff spot. That's gonna be next Wednesday. We'll talk about that
Yeah,
obviously a bit next week. Okay, so let's go to 4B now, I believe,
5B,
or
5B,
5B. Sorry, 5B. Yep, you're right. My
5B.
apologies. So Division 5B.
So you
All
got
right.
we still got the Ducks and the Gooners
Yep.
7-0, keeping on to their win streaks. Shout out to them.
There's
Uh,
wow, yeah, a lot of games going on tonight actually in 5B. There's looking at it here, there's four games going on tonight in 5B. There's the Studs
yeah,
against Les Mangeaux de Bange, the Diddlers and the Maccabees, Hard Knocks, Mighty Ducks, and Chicken Littles and Dirty Dogs. Chicken, Mighty. So there's dogs, there's chickens, there's ducks, some donuts, some demons, some dragons. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Division
yeah.
5B. All
No,
right.
no, not at all. Um, does anything speaking out to you right now in this division? Because I'm gonna wait for you to say it because there's two things that I'm looking at right now, but I want to see if you see the same thing I'm looking at.
Okay. Well, again, there's a lot. Usually, every division has 1 or 2 games at the most. The fact that there's four going on, I mean, that speaks some volumes. I'm just waiting for the standings to pop up on my screen here. Yeah. So looking at it here, man. I mean, I think the game between the Mighty Ducks and Hard Knocks is a game. I think I could be wrong here. Let me just. Oh, here it is finally. Um,
So the Mighty Ducks, um,
that's what I'm wrong on that
Mighty
one.
Ducks. Where's the Mighty Ducks?
Yeah. So right
Mighty
now, yeah,
Ducks are 4-2, and Hard Knocks are
yeah, they're 1-4. My apologies. That wasn't it.
yeah, no,
You know
no.
what?
Sometimes there's
So, what do you have? What's standing out to you?
okay, yeah. So what's starting for me right now, we still have two undefeated teams, right? We have Ducks, and Gooners, but we still have four teams without any wins. So you have
Yeah,
Mama's Favorites, Lemur Mortals, Flag Dealers, and Going Out of Business. There's still four teams that don't have any wins, and I find that's crazy. The fact that we
yeah,
have four teams going into week 11, and I know some that Going Out of Business only played 5 games, but still, you have Flag Dealers at 7, Immortals at 7, Mama's Favorites at 8 games played, and they both we still have four teams. Usually, you have maybe 1, 2 max, but we have four teams that are still haven't won a game. I know going to the schedule that some of these teams, the last couple games that they do play versus each other. So I know we're not going to have four teams that are going to go 0 and
yeah,
10
yeah,
this year. That's for sure. But the fact that we're week 11, there's only basically we have 14 weeks, right? So there's technically four week 11, 12, 13, 14. So there's 4 more weeks left of regular season football that we have 4 teams that are that have 0 wins now. It's still kind of, I find
Yeah,
it's interesting.
yeah. At this point of the season, I mean, again, like you said, one of them going out of business, only 5 games. Flag Dealers and Lanes Immortal only 7 compared to Mama's favorite has 8 games played. Yeah, things are going to change in that and from that aspect. But you're right, it is a bit surprising at this point of the season. There's so many winless teams.
Yeah,
Um, so actually,
but
sorry, I was wrong. The game I was talking about, so the game that I wanted to mention before is the Studs against Les Manjos de Bange. These teams are separated literally by 1 point in the standings. 9 points for the Manjos de Bange, and the Studs have 8. So obviously
mm,
that's going to be a big game. Like I said, that's taking place tonight actually at Stade Bear. So that's going to be a big game, and obviously both teams are going to climb the standings. Right now they sit in 6th for the Bange and 8 for the Studs respectively. So things could change at the
yeah,
end of the night.
no, yeah. I think we were talking about it before how Division B is. The fact that you guys are 25 teams, so only 16 teams make it.
Yeah,
There's going to be a
yeah,
lot of teams that are looking out, and a lot of teams are looking out, looking in, right?
yeah, exactly,
So
exactly.
maybe interesting. The fact that also, well, maybe not, because Chicken Little is the only team that kind of has, well, no, because a lot of Diddlers, Hard Knocks are 1-4, but they only played 5 games, so it just takes a little win streak for them. Same thing with Chicken Little's a little win streak for them to kind of to get themselves back into the pack. But
Yeah, yeah,
I think we said it a couple of times. We've talked about it. It's going to be interesting coming down to week 13 when you see all these teams going up and down, the standings to see who's actually going to make playoffs and who's not going to make playoffs.
yeah.
I just
That's
want
it.
to
That's
give a
it.
shout out to the Ducks. They took care of business this week. They ended up being Crash Out Boys, and they took and Sourpuss. So they took care of
Yep.
2 teams. They kind of played a back-to-back games. They played on the Wednesday and the Thursday. So they played 2 teams. They won both their games, and they kept themselves to the top of the seedings.
Yeah, props to them for sure. Props to them. We were talking a bit about that last week, right? So two big wins for them, right?
Yeah,
Solid. Okay. Let's go over to the next division now.
yeah, 5A,
Uh,
5A.
yeah, 5A. So I'm looking at the standings. So a big game going on tonight. Actually, the only game going on tonight in Laval. It's going to be Freshman XL against Ball So Hard University. So looking at it right now, 2 teams that are struggling to kind of punch their ticket to the playoffs. Ball So Hard University right now, they sit in 14th. So they'll make the playoffs because, of course, in 5A, it's the top 16 teams to make it. So Ball So Hard University with 6 points. They're 2 points up on team number 17, the one team on the outside looking in, or one of the teams on the outside looking in, Freshman XL, right? So Freshman
Mm-hmm.
XL 4 points, Ball So Hard University with 6. A win by Freshman XL. Well, obviously they'll be able then to leapfrog Thunder Buddies who have 5 points, Super Troopers, and Ball So Hard University, right? Because they'll have that tiebreaker, that head-to-head tiebreaker. So at least they'll be able to leap into a playoff spot and thus knocking Ball So Hard University out of the playoffs. So that's going to be a big game going on tonight in Laval.
Yeah, it's same thing. It's basically, as you're saying, huge game for them tonight, because that's something. If they do get that win, they do make that big jump, and they also dropped a lot of teams too, and they put pressure on a lot of teams. Same thing for Division B, or Division 5A right now, right? You have 24 teams in this conference,
Yeah,
and it just goes to show that you have a lot of these teams that have 4 points, and then you have like it ranges from 4 to 8. That's like the jump. So you win 2 games, all of a sudden you're in 20th, and then you're in ninth. So
exactly,
a
exactly,
couple games
exactly.
change a lot of things. So even this weekend, there's a lot of teams that are kind of playing for those spots. Like you have Vin City playing Texas Wales. That's going to be a big game because
Hmm.
it's now or never for a lot of these teams.
Yeah,
More for Vin City, right? Because they stand at 2-5 with 4 points. Texan Wales, I believe, where are they?
they're playing
Texas
pump
Wales
and
are
dump.
1-6, right? So that's a big game for Vin
Yeah,
City if they could take care of business on a lower sorting seed. And they just have a bunch of other games like Thunder Buddies again are going to play. Thunder Buddies are going to play Super
Super Troopers.
Troopers.
Yeah,
So Thunder Buddies as well. If they don't win that game, and they're playing Super Troopers that are right under them, right? So if they beat them, they could probably
yeah,
jump against them. But if they don't beat them, they drop. So a lot of this, going into week 11 right now, there's gonna be a lot of games coming up, and we're gonna see how the standings switch after week 11. But I think we're gonna be kind of confused to see a team right now, like as we said, like Balsa Hard, if they don't get that win and then all of a sudden Vine City wins the win. Freshmen, they both get those wins. All of a sudden, Balso Hard University goes to fourth. I think they dropped to like 17th or 18th. So we see these teams in green, and then next week we might see them in red.
But I said even looking at underdogs versus salts and pepper next week, right? Like underdogs that they can knock off salts and pepper, that'd be a big upset, and also that'll catapult them to the playoffs as well, right? They have 4 points. Tied with freshman XL to be able to leap a couple of teams and get into the dance. You talked about that Super Troopers matchup against Thunder Buddies, two veteran teams going at it. So it's going to be can Terry Babalis, can he avoid the rush of Zach Elber's Gill the entire game? Terry can run a
Yeah,
bit, but we all know Zach has that motor, right? So that's
yeah.
going to be interesting to
He
see.
he gets to you. You don't realize how good he is.
Yeah,
He gets to
yeah,
you.
yeah.
So yeah,
You,
but no, to me it's
yeah,
gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be. I'm excited. I'm excited. Just want to say a shout out to all the teams out there. The teams that are right now. You got the teams that are four and that have four. The teams that have 4 points right now. So Brewers, Deep Shots, Vince City, Underdogs, Freshmen. You guys are right now. You guys are in playoffs. So every game counts. Make sure you guys have your roster there. Make sure you guys are getting the
yeah,
wins you guys have to get to, because as we said before, it's playoffs is a whole different story. It's like any given Sunday where you never know. Doesn't matter if you're the lowest seed. Doesn't matter if you're the highest seed. Anyone could win. Anyone could lose. But
yeah.
you want to get to the dance before making those upsets and stuff.
Yeah,
So you can actually make it.
definitely. All
All
right,
right.
let's
So
go to 4B.
yeah.
So 4B, looking at it right now, there's no games tonight. Actually, they're off until Saturday. It's actually only one game Saturday. Snowden Delhi Deegans taking on Win Diesel. And then Sunday, a ton of games. Chattagee Community College, Tua Army, West Island Boys, Slippery Slows, Parlay Tilters, Team Sexy, Raw Sauce 2.0, Coconuts. So see Vincent Hamel in action. And the
Mm-hmm.
Hooligans against Akatsuki, sorry. And then Mondays, Ramfins, Black Vipers. And then Wednesday, again, Ramfins are back in action, Slippery Slopes. And then next Wednesday as well, the Tonduses, I hope I'm pronouncing that properly, taking on Notorious Wales. So it's weird. There's no games at all for the rest of this week. So yeah, I guess Division 4B gets a couple days off. Like I said, this coming weekend, a lot of games and spilling into next week as well. Anything
Yeah.
you
Well,
want
they
to touch
only
on?
played. Yeah, they only played 10 day. Week 10, they only played 4 games, right?
Yeah,
They only
yeah,
had 4 games played. So again, nothing really switched along.
yeah,
Shady Community College didn't get a win, unfortunately. Maybe
yeah.
they'll get a better chance when they play in Shady. If they end up they do no they play in Laval. They get a home. Oh yeah, they get their last game. They get a home field advantage. So hopefully they'll be able to get their first win of the season, which is going to be their last game. So hopefully for them, they are able to do something
Yeah,
there.
against Notorious
When
Wales.
Diesel is also back in action, they haven't played in a while either. So hopefully
Yep.
they don't have any rust in them, and they could take care of business versus Snowden Delhi Degens.
Hmm.
So they end up playing. They play at the bottom of the pack, but again, a lot of these teams. A lot of these teams have 4 points, right? And then
Yeah, yeah,
they're out looking in. So a lot of big games coming up as well. A lot of big games teams have to win. One team that kind of needs to win like right now is Tua Army. They actually play Chattagee Community College, and Tua Army right now is 2-5. So if they could get a
yeah.
nice win versus Chattagee Community College, they get that extra win. So they'll be 3-5. They'll have 6 points, and they'll be tied with Coconuts if Coconuts could drop their next game against Raw Sauce 2.0. So if Raw Sauce takes care of business, Coconuts, two armies right there, and they could be in the mix into a playoff spot.
There- You know what? So looking at these teams, there's a guy I was actually going to pick him on my All Star team. It's Taimoko Sango from Mofos. This kid, I've never seen him play before, but I was looking at his stats: 19 touchdown passes. He has 47 carries for almost 500 yards. So I was like, okay,
His
he can carry the
carries.
rock. Yeah, he has
He's a
47
quarterback. He's a
carries.
quarterback.
I think he's a quarterback. Yeah, yeah, 19 TD passes. He's a QB. And I was just
Okay.
looking at him and I was like, I've never seen this guy before. Usually there's a lot of guys I've seen, I at least know them by face. I've seen, I'm wrong, actually. I've seen that team play before. A buddy of mine plays on the Mofos, Jean Sebastien, JS Colin. Um, for some reason, I just don't remember. I don't remember him throwing. Again, I'm sure I scored him once early in the season. For some reason, he didn't remember. I don't remember him. But then I started looking at his stats, and I was like, wow, this kid is an athlete.
Yeah,
Again,
he's a runner.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
played since winter 2020, 22. So
yeah,
he's a runner. But you never know. You know, sometimes you tell these guys, you draft them as an all star, you get them on a team, put him as a receiver, make him do some hooks, make him
yeah,
do
yeah.
that quarterback option too, and just run.
Just
The fact that
that's
he's
it.
running for that many yards in general, like it's still impressive to run for that many yards, that many touchdowns. It means it's like yeah, you are running back slash quarterback, but you're easily become a receiver if you could
Yeah,
catch a ball for 5 yards and
exactly,
do the same thing as a running motion,
exactly,
you're good to go.
100%.
So,
I'd be interested to see. I know they lost to the Hooligans. They're taking on the Slippery Slopes as their next opponent. Well, they're off until April 6th, so yeah, okay, they have a ways. Their last game was on Sunday. They're off for pretty much like a month. But anyways, this is the name I wanted to bring up. Give them a little shout out there. All right.
okay.
Anything else for this division, or you want to head over?
No,
Cool.
we could go to four A, I
4A. All
believe it
right,
is.
let's do it. So 4A here. Taking a look at the schedule. What do we have this week for 4A? Yeah, so
So,
there's two games going on tonight, both at Statty Bears, Sleeping All Stars against Smoking Guns, and in the process against Kung Pao. I had a chance to watch Kung Pao play, like I said a little while ago, against Balls Deep last week. There's a guy, so former Sherbrooke defensive back. I met him. He's a good player. He seems like a stand-up dude too. Benjamin Desroches.
okay.
Desroches. I can never get it right with this Desroches or Desroches when it comes to that last name, but either Desroches or Desroches. Please, francophone people, correct me on that one. Yeah. Anyways, he's played a couple years, and he said he was coming back now to play. And actually, no, sorry, no, wait. I think I'm wrong. Or is it Sebastian Deschamps? Hold on, I'm horrible with this. It is okay. No, it's Desroches. I was right. Sorry, it was Desroches. And they had a pretty good team. They lost a heartbreaker to Balls Deep. Sorry, yeah, they lost a heartbreaker to Balls Deep the other night. But they're a good team. They're a good team. Compile this. They have a veteran, Jean Francois Marquis. I'm sure a lot of us know him from playing higher divisions as a receiver slash defensive back. He's the quarterback on the team, and they have a young running back who I like a lot. Plays for McGill, for Concordia. I think he's like a third or fourth string running back. Is Jacob Eglencian, and this kid, technically it's his rookie season in FPF. He's just fast. They play him at rusher. It's the type of guy like you're saying. They give him like 5 yard hooks or swing passes, and he just tries to take all the passes to the house. He's able to zig and able to zag. It's a guy that kind of caught my eye. And it's compiles a team that I think they could stack together some more wins. They could definitely be a threat come playoff time.
Mm.
Four
No,
and
of
three already.
course, as we were saying, and then just like they do, get those speedy guys those balls as fast as possible, those 2 yard, 3 yard hooks, whatever
Yeah,
those reverses, and let them work.
that's it.
Um, something that's also interesting, we kind of talked about a bit. We both took all stars for both their teams. Voodoo's on a 3 game win streak right now.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they were they were 0-5. Now they're 3-5. They got three pretty impressive wins, I want to say. They beat Trap Stars, they
yep,
beat
yep,
Mangoose, and they beat Balls Deep. So they got three impressive wins.
yeah,
They finished with a hard schedule as well. They right now they're trying to push in for the playoffs. They play versus Le Petit Cat and they play Goons. So I'm pretty sure they play two top teams as well. Again, going into the last 2 games, so they play maybe Goons is 4-2, and they Pizza Cat is 4-2 as well right now. So they're gonna
yeah,
play two teams above 500. So for them, that's going to be a huge challenge. If they could somehow win those 2 games, finish 5-5, they definitely will make the playoffs, and they'll have a lot of momentum going into playoffs. So a question for you: do you think they make the dance, or do you think they crumble the last 2 games and end up finishing 3-5? A
I
five,
think that
3-7.
I want to pull for them. I had a chance. I score kept their game against Mangoose at Steady Bear this past week, and yeah, man, like Frank was hitting some of those deep balls. The defense was aggressive. There's a guy on their team I never seen him before playing for Voodoo, but I guess he's a rookie. Lucas Theus. I don't know if I think he's a rookie at least on their team. 4 INTs, 1 touchdown on defense this season. But this guy is physical. He's a little on the older side, like most of the guys on that team. He was just going through guys to get the ball. He was diving, making plays as a defensive back. Did a little bit of damage as well as a receiver. And he's just a guy that kind of caught my eye. And Voodoo, I mean, I think to answer your question, I'm pulling for them. You know what? I'm gonna say because they've been on a hot streak. I think they are going to get into the playoffs. It is this whether Frank can protect the ball. Frank likes to air it out. He's a little late on throws sometimes, which leads to some of the interceptions. If he's able to play not a perfect game, but a near perfect game where he limits the turnovers to maybe only win a game, I think they'll be able to get it done.
Mm-hmm. I just think that win against Balls Deep is impressive because Balls Deep is probably one of the top teams right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
The fact that
yeah.
they beat them by they beat them.
By three, I think.
I want to say
It was, I think, 36-33. Let me just double check that score. Yeah, they beat, yeah, 36-33. Yeah, Sunday in
wow.
Laval.
So they beat them. It's a very close game,
Yeah,
good game. The fact they dropped 36 points in them just goes to show like they're right now the momentum is going with them. So
yeah,
it's
exactly,
nice to
exactly.
see. If they lost that game, I'd be like, okay, well, you guys didn't really beat anyone that impressive, but the fact that they
Yeah.
got a game they're supposed deep, I have faith in them now. I
Okay.
have faith in them. Moving forward, again, as I was saying, this division's pretty tight. A lot of teams need those wins. Trap Stars need to win. Sun and Guns need to win. Voodoo needs a win. Ball
Yeah.
Don't Lie need to win. Rico Riders need to win. And then you have the teams that are in the playoffs are now Process, Mongoose, Bandits, Nighthawks. All those teams need wins as well. So as I said before, and Division 5A and 5B as well, this division super tight regarding players. So it takes one team to get on a hot streak, as Voodoo,
Yeah.
It's 8 o'clock.
as we see with Voodoo as an example. It takes one team to go on a hot streak, one team to go on a lose streak, and a cold streak, and then all of a sudden you're in playoffs. You feel comfortable, and at the end of the season you're not in playoffs, and the team that was not even looking close to being in playoffs takes your spot.
Yeah, that's
So
it. That's it.
it's gonna be interesting. Week 11 is gonna be very interesting coming down the line.
Definitely. Definitely. All right, let's hop over to Div 3. Looking at Division 3 right now. So two games going on tonight. One in Laval, it's AF1, so I guess Air Force One against Arouche. And then also going on tonight, Stady Bear at 11 o'clock start is the Stoics against Blue Chips. So two veteran teams going at it in the Stoics and the Blue Chips. Looking at this weekend, there's a ton of games. There's Southsiders, Big Fat Bats, Idaho, Ida Pimps, and the Stoics. That could be a game of the week candidate. Junkyard Dolls against Les Verges Faux. I had a chance to watch Les Verges Faux this past week. They were playing. They actually lost. Yeah, they lost to the underdog. So that was a bit of a rough and tumble game. A little bit of trash talking going on. I had a chance to watch that at Sadie Bear while I was scorekeeping. So Les Verges Faux, I believe that's their first loss of the season. Am I wrong on that one? Yeah, so Les Verges Faux.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first loss of the season as they fell against the underdogs. The underdogs now kind of catapulted all the way up to second place. They're behind Idaho, the Pimps, who I also saw. I believe I had them Monday night. I score kept the game Monday night between Idaho, the Pimps against Big Fat Bats Monday night in Saint Laurent. That was a shootout. Idaho, the Pimps should have put that game away a lot earlier than they did. They kind of fooled around a bit, going out of bounds instead of trying to run the clock when they were up. They let Big Fat
I was
Bats.
watching that game too.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, and they let Big Fat Bats get an onside to extend a couple of drives. They had a couple of sloppy turnovers at the end, but I mean, they got the W. They got to play a little bit better ball the closer we get to the playoffs.
One thing I don't think teams realize, and I'm gonna say it here. So if you tune in and you listen to me, good for you. If you don't, and you can lose games like this. When you guys are up by more than 9 points, okay, and you guys are in the time is running. Let's say there's a minute left. You don't have to play anymore. You guys have the game. The game is done. All you have to do is take the ball and knee the ball because it takes. I think the shot clock is 30 seconds. 30 plus 30 is a minute. You don't need to do anything either more. Or also, and there something else to tell teams when you guys are up by, let's just say 1 point, and a team throws you and there's literally a minute left or 2 minutes left, and a team throws you a pick. Don't bring it back for 6 because when you bring it back for 6, you get your touchdown. Then you go up by 7, and then you have to go for 2. You don't get the convert because I've seen it before. Teams get a pick 6. They're all happy. They go for the 2-point convert. Some teams don't even realize, so they go for 1 or whatever. They don't get the 1-point convert. They give the ball back to their team, but the other team scores. They go for 2. They get the 2, and they win the game. When you could have just got the pick 6, you could have kneed the ball on the 1-yard line. You
Yep.
could have then just need, or whatever, threw or hook or whatever to kill clock, and you guys would have won. There's so many
Exactly.
teams, and usually it's not like Division Three, Division Two, but you still see it where teams are not killing the clock. And I know some teams will go, "Why would we kill the clock? We're playing to play," like that. Yeah, I get it, but when you lose a game like that, you're gonna start realizing, and for sure, someone's gonna say on your team, you guys are probably gonna fight and be like, yo, why the hell did we just not knee? Like it's gonna come to you, and then you're gonna be like, okay, guys, we're gonna start knee. But until that happens, you're like, oh no, it's cool, whatever, we're gonna
That's
play.
smart.
No,
That's
don't
it.
do that.
That's
Get
it.
your win, be happy with your win, whatever. You don't get to play the last minute of the game, minute half game, but you gotta win on your belt, and you're happy about it. That's the point of your play.
Exactly.
Yeah, we do pay to play, but you also play to win. You pay to win.
100%. 100%.
So
It's like
just
when you see guys in tackle, whether they get an interception on defense or even you're an offensive player, running back or receiver catches a ball, and they slide at like the 2 yard line. There's a reason for that. Yeah, it's
yeah,
great to have the stats, but it's because you're trying to kill the clock and then let that be it. Because yeah, I've seen it too. Teams they score. Oh yeah, raw punt. Let's get that. Let's get that pick six or let's score that touchdown. Giving the ball back to your opponents unless you're up by 9 points or more is a huge mistake. Don't do it.
yeah.
Don't
Plus,
do
you have
it.
the onside. Now we have the onside, the
Yeah,
back pocket. So
yeah,
9 points. It's like if they don't have the onside, yeah, they can't win. But if they have the onside, they can literally score, go onside. So you have to be more than 15 because on score is 6 and then onside
exactly,
constant convert.
exactly.
So then they have to score and get in there 8 points. But
Yep.
so just a little. If you guys want to listen to me, I'm telling you, because I've seen some teams, I've literally witnessed it where a team got a pick six. This is last week. Team gets a pick six, they bring it back, they go up by 7, and then they're looking at the refs and they're trying to do this. I'm like, no, you guys can't do that. You guys are up by 7. You have to do your palm. You have to go for 2. And even
Yeah,
if you go
yeah,
for 2, the team has a timeout and an onside kick. And the guys look at me. I'm like, so they go for 2, they don't get it, and there's not that much time left. I think there's like 30 seconds left. Team does a hook, misses it,
yeah.
then does a Hail Mary, and they end up batting it down so they lose. But I'm just like, you guys could have there was literally 40 seconds left when you got the interception. You guys could have got the interception, kneed it down, so getting to pick 6, and you guys would have won, and
There you
there
go.
wouldn't be any stress. Everyone
There you go.
would have went happy without having the heartbeats kind of bumping a bit.
There you go. 100% right. No argument here. All right. So we told you about the upcoming matchups again, 2 tonight and a bunch next week coming up for Division 3. Let's hop over now to Division 2. See what we have going on. Okay. So looking at Division 2 right here, just waiting for this to pop up on my screen. So again, everything. I just wrote an article. If you want to go to the FPF site, check it out. It came out. I believe I put it out Sunday. I want to say. So Idaho Pimps. So different than Idaho Pimps. So Idaho Pimps taking on Diamond Bougie this Saturday. There's no games tonight, so every game is this weekend or next Wednesday. So Idaho Pimps, Diamond Bougie. No regard. They got smoked 44-6 by you guys, the infantry. So still looking for the first W of the season. They're taking on arguably one of the hottest teams in Division 2 right now in EZW, who I think has won 5 in a row now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're hot. They're
Yeah.
hot right now.
Yeah.
Jesse,
Not messing around.
White is Jeremy White. Sorry,
Jeremy
is
White, yeah.
really he's putting on a clinic right now with some of these teams. I was literally talking to AJ about this yesterday,
Mhm.
and I was like, who's a real deal right now? EZW, and we're looking at the standings, right? We're kind of right now we're one of the top teams, and we're kind of looking. I'm like, okay, they're catching fire on the right time.
Yeah, that team is no joke. That team is no joke. A veteran squad as well, right? So they know what they're doing. Looking at the rest of the games, yeah. So Fins up against Mangoose. I mean, I think we expect Fins up to get the W.
Mm-hmm.
Kush and Corinthians 13 taking on Shake and Bake. Shake and Bake's coming off of a huge win against Idaho Pimps Sunday. I talked to Idaho Pimps quarterback Brady. Oh, I can never pronounce his last name properly. I'm looking at it here just to make sure I get it right. Brady O'Hason, I want to say. I should know this by now. I feel bad. I've talked to him plenty of times. Yeah. Oh, O'Hannessian. Hannessian, there you go. Hennessian, whatever, either or. Brady. So I was talking to him, and he thinks that he actually broke Marvin Steinberg, so your top player, broke his finger throwing him a pass.
He broke his finger.
Yeah, he says he threw a pass, and either his finger bent all the way back or something happened with it. The ball bounced off of Marvin's hand. I don't know. And
Oh,
that he told me that was one of the reasons they lost to Shake and Bake. It was kind of a funky play. The ball bounced off a couple of hands, one of them being Marvin's, who might have broken his finger on the play.
but they lost 47 to
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm
24.
saying. It didn't make any sense to me either because I didn't see the score. And then when I got home, like, you guys lost by like more than 20 points, dude.
I don't
That's not
think
the only
Marvin
reason why
gives
you
you.
lost.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know all about.
Listen. He told me one thing, and I went home, and then I saw something else. And like, I just wanted to say because that's what he told me when I saw him on Monday when I was scorekeeping his Division 3 game. Anyways, so yeah, Shake and Bake with a huge victory over Idaho, you the pimps. And that matters because looking at the standings, right? So Shake and Bake now they're kind of tied with that glut of teams between like 8 and 12. Now they're all the way up in 6, right? They're 2 points behind one stop. You guys, the infantry, fins up in ECW, right? For you guys are all tied with 10 points for second through fifth in the standings, right? They're also
Mhm.
2 points behind ECW. So again, big win there for Shake and Bake. Looking at the rest of the schedule, you guys are playing KGP, so you guys your former team. That's coming up next Wednesday, and same thing for
Yeah,
one stop against the Vultures, a big game too.
yeah. No, there's a lot of big games. There's a lot of big games coming up. Again, KGP kind of we talked about it before. KGP kind of gets to hold their faith because they only played 4 games, so they get the
Yeah,
last end of the schedule. So they're
yeah,
gonna kind of see how many wins they're gonna need. They're definitely gonna need more than I want to say they're gonna need more than 3 wins.
yeah.
I believe Diamond Bougie is probably going to get at least a narrow win or 2 wins. And I think Diamond Bougie has the tiebreak against KJP. I want to say. I think they played the beginning.
Yeah, I can tell you. I wrote about that in my article. I
Uh,
should know this off the top of my head, but
they, oh no
here.
no KJP is playing Diamond Bougie, so that's gonna be they play in a couple weeks,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
that's gonna
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah. That's gonna be a big game for the playoffs. Right?
that's
I
gonna be a
wrote my
very
article.
big game for them. Yeah,
If KGP
because
can get
Diamond
the upset win, that's huge in terms of snapping their trip to the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. So KGP gets their schedule now. They have. I feel like they could pull out some wins.
Yeah,
I don't think they're gonna beat us, but I think they have a good chance versus Kush, a good chance versus Norgard.
yeah,
Depends on the Vultures type of roster they have. Their roster hasn't been consistent. They've been missing some players. So the roster that they've been bringing, I think they won the last week, but their roster wasn't that impressive. But yeah, they have a big schedule coming up for KGP. They're going to play a lot of games back to back. They play on the 19th, the 20th. They play March 19th, and then the 22nd, and the 26th, and the 29th, and then April 2nd, and then April 6th. They literally play a game every like 3 or 4 days. So for them,
yeah, yeah. That's it. That's it.
it's going to be a lot of games, and a lot of games are going to count. So they're kind of like right now. I have to say they're in playoff mode right now. I have a saying like I say it a lot, like you're in playoffs right now. So every game for you guys have to count as a playoff game. So Phil Cutler's really gonna have to be on his shit, and he's gonna have to ball out with the guys that he has around him.
Definitely, definitely. Again, and that's the whole product of the schedule. Like they didn't play the first game KGP until like the beginning of February, and then they had like a month off, and then like I said, a lot of games now in a short amount of time. One thing before we jump to Division 1, I want to say congrats to the Dirty Birds. So there was a battle for first place, right? Dirty Birds against Fins Up this past Monday, and Dirty Birds knocked off Fins Up 37-24. I wrote in my article again talking about that's a battle for first place. So congrats again to the Dirty Birds. Quade Johnson, 5 TD passes in that game. James O'Hayan led the team with 2 TD receptions. Good job actually by Quade. So Quade basically had 5 receivers in the game. Everyone got a touchdown except for Jalen Gradison. But Gradison still had 6 catches for 51 yards. So good job by
Body.
him. I mean, second half really. So this game, Fins Up in the first half of that game was up 18-14 at the half. Second half
Okay.
scoring, Dirty Birds smoked them 23-6. So the
Oh,
game's
wow.
definitely a tale of two halves, and it didn't work out for Fins Up, unfortunately for them.
All right. So it's good for Dirty Birds. They keep as you said, they keep their number one seeding.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, a lot of this we have for this division. There is buys. So there's 4 teams that
Yep,
get buys.
yep,
So a lot of teams are playing for those buys because it's also sometimes some teams like the buys, some teams don't like the buys, but
yeah,
it's still sometimes nice to get that buy. You don't have to play that week. If you play
true,
multiple teams, you kind of because space your game around. You don't have to play back to back games. You don't have to play
exactly.
Saturday and then Sunday or Saturday at 7 p.m. and then 11 p.m. So
Yeah,
you get to enjoy your week off or that game off. So that's also
Yeah,
nice.
the little less wear and tear on the body is always a good thing.
Yeah. So we'll go Division
Uh,
One.
yep. So yeah, Braves still on top, 6-0. Looking at the schedule right now for Division One,
So
there is one game
nothing
going on
really.
tonight. Ooh, big
Yeah.
game actually
Uh,
tonight. Braves and Flagmont Sac at Stady Bear tonight.
yeah. So exactly, the Braves are gonna try to keep their. They're gonna try to keep their winning record.
Yep. Yep. 6-0.
Their winning thing. I think if they win tonight, they pretty much clinch. Uh, they'll be 7-0. So they'll clinch. I think because playoffs work. I think it's top buys are 1 and 2. So they'll be 7-0 if they win here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Royal Party
Well,
Crashers.
well, they won't clinch it yet though, because
No, they'll be close to it. If Party Crashers
yeah,
decide to drop in their game,
yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
then they'll pretty much clinch it. I believe it'll be close
They
with Flagmois, but
yeah,
Flagmois can only win 3. So Flagmois, the most wins Flagmois could get is 6, and the most wins Party Crashers could get is 7. So if they win
yeah.
tonight, they have 7. They'll get the tiebreak from Flagmois, and then the only team that could knock them out is Party Crashers. And I'm not sure. I'm gonna just check here. Party Crashers. The Party
The
Crashers
Party
play.
Crashers have played 8 games already, right? Braves have only played 6, so that's
Yeah, and
also
Party Crashers play the Braves too. So
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
they Party Braves beat them 27-6. So pretty much Braves have to make sure that they don't lose by more than 21 points, and then they'll actually. So Braves take care of business tonight, and then they take care of business against Party Crash. Make sure they don't lose by more than 21 points. Though
Yeah,
they
yeah.
will clinch a number 1 or 2 seed
There you
depending how
go.
Royal Lemire end up doing. The biggest question right now, to be honest, you is here because since there's only 7 teams that do make playoffs. A lot of the scheduling doesn't really matter as much. Like now, guys are kind of just playing for chemistry
Yeah.
and kind of stat wise. The only 2 teams that are kind of really playing for something is Run It Twice and
And
Bless.
blessed. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Where they're both teams are have played 7 games. They're 1-6, 1-6. Run It Twice has the tiebreak versus Bless. They only play one.
Yep.
They're only playing once per season, so they played early on in the season, and Run It Twice got that win. So it's going to be pretty much can Bless win another game and knock out Run It Twice, or can Run It Twice kind of run away with it,
Well,
get that extra win, and then kind of not give a chance for Bless to even have a chance
well,
to even.
that's it, and that's I was gonna ask you because the funny thing about the schedule, right? Like, so the Blessed they play Royaume Luminaire and then the All Stars twice, but then it's the same thing for the all for Run It Twice. Sorry, you guys play All Stars twice and Royaume Luminaire.
Yeah, so we have the
So it's a
same
matter
schedule.
of if you guys all lose out, well, I don't think that's gonna happen. But if you guys both lose out, then Run It Twice is in,
Yeah.
Bless is out. It's a matter of do we think that Bless can knock off either Royaume Luminaire or the All Stars in one or both occasions? That's going to be the big question, right? It needs to be answered.
What would be a crazy world is if somehow Bless could beat All Stars twice and we could beat All Stars twice. It pits All
Yeah.
Stars into a situation where they're probably if
Yep.
Bless wins, if Bless could beat All Stars twice and Run It Twice could beat All Stars twice, we bump out All Stars on the playoffs
Yeah, that'd be actually kind of cool to
automatically
see. I don't
because
think it's
they
going to happen, but that'd be kind of cool to see.
no, I don't think it's gonna happen either. But I mean, I've seen crazier things. All Stars right now, they're not looking the best. They're 2-3, which is
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
they've
You're
only
right.
played 5 games. But the fact that they're 2-3 right now, they have a losing record. They did lose versus the top of the seeds. But you never
Yeah,
know. Sometimes if you have a bad game, it's hard to have 4 bad games versus 2 teams you're gonna play twice. But you've seen it before. So, and again, this
sure.
is Division One. Like, I don't want to throw any shade to any rosters. Bless have a good roster. Run It Twice has a good roster if everyone shows up. All Stars
Yeah,
do also
yeah,
have a
yeah,
have a good roster, but it
yeah.
takes again like you have athletes all around, so anything can happen. I feel like a lot of these
That's it.
teams are well balanced. If teams decide to show up and actually play, they could get those upsets and things could happen.
No, 100%, 100%. I mean, listen, we'll see what happens, right? We gotta play the games again. Like I said, looking at it, one game tonight, Saturday, Run Once All Stars. So the first meeting, and then Flagwa, the Braves again. So they're playing tonight. They're also playing Sunday. and then this coming Sunday as well, Royal Luminaire against Bless. So if we're gonna see
Yeah,
some upsets, they'll be happening this weekend. So we'll have to
yeah.
see what happens with that.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So just last thing, Bless plays Royal, so it's a big game for Bless, and then Run It Twice plays All Stars. So they play Saturday. We play Saturday, and they play Sunday. So that's also going to show something. So if Run It Twice wins, puts pressure on Bless, but if Bless wins versus Royal, puts pressure on Run It
Yeah,
Twice.
yeah,
So
exactly,
it's gonna be nice to see after the Sunday exactly where the standings are after that.
Yep. All right, so let's hop over to a women's two.
Yeah, it's the women's too.
Okay, so looking at the schedule right here, we have so no games tonight. They're all this weekend actually. So except for one, Lynette against Hebrew 2 Saturday. Ex Cons against Chaos Saturday. Also Saturday, Chaos again against Cheetahs. That should be actually kind of interesting. Chaos against the former Vanier Cheetah. Anyways, Citadin Hebrew 3 also Saturday. Then Sunday we got Dream Killers and Lays ETS Sturgeon. And then next Wednesday, so a week from now, like Crocs against the Aces. So a lot of games
Yeah,
on tap.
a lot of games happening. Just something a recap for last week. Gym Killers took care of XCon, so it's a big game for Gym Killers
Yeah. Yeah.
to get that win. I thought XCons was going to beat them, but I'm wrong. Gym Killers won 13-8, so good win for them. Shibu 2 beat Wolfpack. I'm surprised for that. I didn't think I thought Wolfpack was going to win that game, but again, I'm wrong again. So those are two games that kind of stood out to me.
Mhm.
XCons have a big schedule coming up, right? They need to start winning games. They're at the bottom of the pack, so it's something that I'm kind of looking at this week.
Yeah.
They are playing Chaos, so again, I think that's going to be a big game. It's kind of a rematch. Not exactly the full roster of X Cons have. So people that don't know X Cons, it seems like there are a lot of players that used to play for the University of Concordia flag football team. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's a lot of females that used to play for that team. That's the reason why they're called X Cons. Um, so I think that's gonna be a big week for them to kind of make that push, and even to try to get a tie break versus Chaos, because Chaos right now is 3-3, and their schedule after XCons, their schedule is pretty easy. I don't see them losing any other games. So this is a huge game for XCons to win to kind of jump that standing. Same thing for Cheetahs as well.
Yeah.
You're gonna kind of get the old school versus the new school regarding Chaos and Cheetahs, and the ones that don't know it, Chaos is pretty much former Vanier Cheetah girls that used to play for Vanier, and now they kind of changed their name. They kind of separated away from the Cheetah brand, so they're kind of playing. And Cheetahs is technically the Vanier Cheetah team, so that's going to be also cool to kind of see. But those are two teams that are basically both playing Chaos this week, and they both need wins, So maybe they'll be able to get a struggling Chaos team with back-to-back games because they're playing on Saturday at 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. So maybe Cheetahs are able to get a sore Chaos team or a banged up Chaos team after the first game.
So basically what you're saying, so for Liz and Chaos, obviously Rochelle, the Mies, and everybody else, Allison and Emma. So basically, Quaysie, you're saying you ladies are a little older than the actual Cheetahs team that is taking the field now. So maybe the fact that you're older, the younger version of you guys will have the edge, is what Quaysie is trying to say.
Well, you never know. I know, but also I know a couple of the girls that are playing for Chaos. Emma and Gigi, they're playing like 4 games. They're playing like 4 games on Saturday.
You're right. And actually, you know what? So Emma actually she has like actually, you know what? Yeah, she's not 100%. So I'll just say that. Hopefully she'll be okay by the time that game rolls around. I'm not gonna say what I saw her get hurt. She's tough though. She stayed on the sideline and was walking around and stuff. So anyway, she's tough. She said, I'm gonna see her tonight at scorekeeping, so I'll find out, but she should be okay.
Okay.
She got a little bind up in a co-ed game. First snap.
Yeah, but very, very interesting things. Also, just to kind of go by it, no big upsets happened. A lot of teams took care of businesses. Villa, Hella took care of business. Patriots took care of business. Yep. So the top teams kind of did what they had to do. And then following this week, there's no really big matchups except for the ones that I said. And then pretty much the Crocs are playing the Aces. I think they should take care of the Aces, no problem. That should be a good game. But the Crocs the Crocs are pretty much going for the undefeated season, so they're almost there. And then they get the last matchup, that last matchup versus Villa Halla. the last week of the season, I believe. So that's week 13. So that's going to be something to look
Yeah,
at
should be a
moving
good one.
forward. So it's cool. Women's one real
Women's
fast.
one here. Okay, so I'm looking at the schedule right now. So no games tonight. Everything is either Saturday or Monday. So Red Wings coming off of a tough loss to Sub-Zero. I saw that game a bit at Sadie Bear on Friday when I was scorekeeping. They're taking on the Blues this week, so hopefully better luck to the Red Wings again, trying to find their first W of the year. So good luck to those ladies. Saturday and back-to-back games. So first Saturday they're taking on Cayenne, so that should be a big game. Cayenne, of course, one of the top teams in Women's One, and then Saturday and back in action taking on Sub-Zero. So they get Cayenne and Sub-Zero on back-to-back games. Talking about the Saturday, so definitely not easy sailing for them. And then Cayenne is back in action again Monday night. They're taking on Hebrew at Steady Bear. So two
Yeah,
games
it's going
Saturday,
to
two
be
games Monday.
it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be nice to see as well.
Yeah.
I watched Sub Zero the previous week. I watched Sub Zero played people. Sub Zero kind of took care of business. A lot of the girls were, I think they were coming back from something. It was Sarah's birthdays. They're kind of wearing birthday hats. They're kind of
Right, 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 right.
they had fun with it. They had a good time.
Nice.
But they're back to business this week versus UCAM right on Monday
Yeah.
for week 11. So back to business. Birthdays are done, and we'll see how the schedule ends up being, how the standings are going to be with Sub Zero and Cayenne both playing UCAM as well this week. So we'll see how they both do, and then we'll be able to see a bit if anything changes between UCAM and Cayenne because they're kind of both fighting for that third spot right now.
Exactly, exactly. Happy birthday to Sarah Parker. Yeah, I saw on Instagram and it's her birthday, like you said, or was her birthday sometime I guess in the past couple of days. So happy birthday to
Yeah.
her. Sub Zero keeps the ball rolling. Uh, okay, so we're gonna hop over to co-ed here. I'm gonna bounce off Quaysie. I gotta let you do the rest of the pod. I gotta take off to do some scorekeeping.
No
Uh,
stress.
we'll hop into. I'll do the games though with you for co-ed 3 right now.
Okay.
So co-ed 3, looking at the games coming up. Tonight there's nothing, so it's gonna be Saturday. Tight ends, Hot Wings, Montreal Dragons, Vultures. Dream on Sunday, Dream Killers, Vicious and Delicious, Pick Artists, Thunder Villains. Monday we have Ghosted against Anything, and then next Wednesday there's 3 games: B and G's against Gold Diggers, Flamingos, Hot Wings, and Balls and TDs versus like Guerrero de Pamplemousse. So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
games going on over this weekend, and obviously spilling into Monday and Wednesday as well.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sign off. Sorry, go.
Yeah, no, could go ahead. I just want to say big game for tight ends and Hot Wings. They're
Hot
both
Wings, yeah.
1-3, 1-5. So they're kind of fighting for that playoff spot as well right now. That's kind of two games that kind of stand out. That are kind of standing out. That are kind of standing out for me this week. And also, Vultures versus Montreal Dragons. Just because Montreal Dragons is playing to win one of their first games of the season, and Vultures are just trying to make them their little
Yeah,
push. They had a bad game last week where they lost. This following, I think it was Monday. They ended up having a hard loss versus Pick Artists. So they're looking to kind of jump back into the standings and getting a trying to get a nice little win off of Montreal Dragons here to bring them back.
yeah. Hoping the Montreal Dragons can keep it close. I mean, Vultures is definitely an experienced and superior team. So hopefully, at least Dragons can keep it close. Like we talked about last week, the Dragons need to settle on one quarterback and just roll with that quarterback for the entire game. Because said they've had about 3 or 4 quarterbacks in multiple games, and again, that's not a recipe for success. I'm giving my vote of confidence. I'm just trying to find her name here again. Yeah, Eliane Dallaire. Hopefully, she's number 10. You can see her in the team photo. She's the one holding the football. Keep the football in her hands. Let her be your quarterback and let her work through whatever struggle she's working through because I think she's the best option they have, but it's not my team.
Mhm.
So we'll see what happens. All right. So I'm going
Yeah.
to sign off for the rest of the podcast. Quaysie, thanks for bringing it the rest of the way. Again, we have the last 2 co-ed divisions to do and then the 5-on-5. So I'll leave that to your more than capable hands. Thank you guys for
Yep.
tuning in, and Quaysie's going to handle it from here. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Nice. All right, guys. So now you just have me. So we're gonna go to co-ed 2. I'm just gonna pull everything up for you guys to see, so it's a bit easier. My thing still showing my screen. No, it's not. Sure, there's. All right. So we have co-ed. So we have co-ed 2 right now. I'm just gonna pull it up here. Co-ed 2 schedule. Yeah, so we have co-ed 2 right here. We had a pretty big week. Daycare, a kind of games that kind of looked out. Team Rocket took care of Purple Blood. It was a pretty good game, 26-20. So Team Rocket ends up holding on to their perfect season, playing versus Purple Blood. Purple Blood, good game for them, 2-7 right now. They're outside the playoffs, so the fact that they are able to have a good game like that versus Team Rocket kind of shows that they're not done right now. They have one game left, so hopefully they'll be able to get that win, their last game, and maybe get a chance to depends how Bald Hard University plays, and no pads, no helmets and stuff. A lot of those bottom teams depends how they go, but they're going to need a lot of help to try to make that last playoff push. It's going to be very interesting. But Team Rocket takes care of business. Then you have Tonics versus Daycare, which Tonics was one of the top teams. I think they were 5-0 the last two podcasts that we did. Now they're 4-3, so I believe they dropped the last three games. They played Team Rocket, they played Daycare, and then I think they played. I want to say Le Rasars. I'm just gonna double check. So they played Kamigazi. So they played those teams. Sorry, no, it's Daycare. They played. Oh wait, sorry, Tonics. So I know they played Rockets, they played Daycare, and they played LDN. So they played three really top teams. I'm surprised that they lost all those three games though. So unfortunately for them, hopefully they'll be able to kind of step it up the last three games of the season to kind of get back into those one of those top seeds. Um, Again, so that's pretty much that was it. That was interesting. A lot of teams right now are kind of fighting to playoffs. We have a lot of teams that are 4 points, and you have a lot of teams that have 8 points. So it kind of takes a lot of these teams like no pads, no helmets. You guys really need to start getting some wins here. You guys have three games left. Flag Force one, same as you guys, and Ghostbusters. You guys are both 2-5. So every win's going to count for you guys moving on moving on into the standings. And then you have Daycare that's making a big push right now. They got a big win versus Tonics, and they're looking for more wins. And then today we have one more game that's going to be on Wednesday. So that's going to be today playing in Stad Hubert. You have McNuggies versus LDN, and LDN's a team that was kind of under the radar. That me and Brent didn't talk about at all. So right now they're 5-1. I think they lost their first game and they've won the last five. They won the last five, so they have a good matchup right now versus McNuggies. They lost. McNuggies was 3-0 actually, so they lost the last two games. So for them, it's kind of a statement game as well. So we're gonna see what happens there. The following week right now, so week 11, you have McNuggies versus Team Rocket. So if McNuggies could get that win versus LDN, they have an huge matchup again versus Team Rocket. And then you have the bottom teams as Balso Hard University versus Venom. So it's also going to be a big game because Balso Hard right now, you guys are at the bottom seeds. You guys are looking for that playoff push. And then something else is that you have Daycare versus Crazy Frog. So that's also going to be a good game. Two middle pack teams going to be playing versus each other. And then I want to also talk about no pads, no helmets, just balls. You guys have a huge game this week as well versus Block Party. So Block Party is one of those top seeds right now. They're 4-2-1, but no pads, no helmets. You guys are fighting for a playoff spot this week. You guys are playing for a playoff spot the next 3 weeks. So it's gonna be a big game for you guys. So that's pretty much it for co-ed 2. I'm gonna hop into co-ed 1. All right, so I'm just gonna put the standings here, and I'm gonna pull up the standing here schedule. So for the standings right now, nothing has changed. We still have the top dogs, the IG team, the merge. I think the IG team has taken the number one spot because they have one extra game played in the merge, but the merge is still 6-0. So big shout out to them taking care of business. And then you have the middle of the pack. You have Plenty of Fish, Pass Whooping, Dominoes, Banana Nice Try. You have all those teams there, and then you have the bottom seeds where you have Fit Squad. Big shout out to Fit Squad. You guys won a huge game where I didn't think you guys were going to win at all, but you guys beat Kiss by End Zone. You guys kind of make that playoff push a bit closer for yourself, which is very impressive because then you guys play Party Mix, Banana Nice Try. You guys play Party Mix and Banana Nice Try the next 2 weeks. So that's two big games that you guys will be playing, and then you guys are now closer into that playoff spot. I thought you guys were going to lose versus Kiss My End Zone, so I thought after that loss, you guys are pretty much season was going to be done because you guys would have been 8 games played and you guys been 1-6. So the fact you guys got that big win versus Kiss My End Zone, bringing them down to 3-4, so you guys do get that tie break against them. So if you guys do end up winning your next game versus Party Mix, you guys could make that push where you guys become 3-6, and if Kiss My End Zone loses next game, they become 3-5. So yeah, you have one game more played against them, but you guys will beat them in the tiebreak. So coming down to it, co-ed 1 is super tight. Again, everyone still has a chance. 8 teams make it, no buys. So it's very interesting. I'm just gonna go back to the schedule here. So you have tonight. We actually have one game tonight at 11 p.m. versus Stad Hubert versus Easy Fun versus the Merge. So that's gonna be a big game. Easy Fun is trying to make a playoff spot, so it's gonna be a good game for them. And the Merge is trying to defend their perfect season. Moving forward, week 11, there's a couple games that are gonna be really interesting. Plenty of Fish versus Dominoes. That's gonna be a good game. That's my team. My team is Dominoes playing versus Plenty of Fish. That's gonna be a very interesting game. Dominoes right now is the third seed. We're the fifth seed, so we're kind of playing for us. We're playing for playoff spots. We're also playing to get a higher seed. So that's gonna be a good game. You have Easy Fun versus Banana Nice Try. Again, as I said, Party Mix versus Fit Squad. And then you have the IG Team versus Dominoes the following that Wednesday as well. So you have a lot of games playing on the Saturday, the Sunday, and the Wednesday. So a lot of action going to be happening here. Again, co-ed 1 is probably one of the most interesting divisions that we have. It's the most competitive division that we've had for co-ed this in FPFs since we brought co-ed. So again, a lot of these teams that are at the red, all of those teams that are non-playoffs right now, like Easy Fun, Fit Squad, Party Mix, Hush, Mazzles, all of those teams have crazy athletes going both ways. So the fact that they're not in a playoff, they're outside playoff right now. It takes a couple games for them to get into playoffs, and they knock out a lot of teams that have a good chance to make playoffs to not make playoffs. So again, there's still we're gonna be in week 11. There's still a lot of football left, so it's gonna be very interesting to see when it's like week 13, week 14 to see who's gonna be making the dance and who's not gonna be making the dance. So very interesting. It's a big week. So I'm gonna go to right now. I'm going to go to 5v5. I'm gonna go to rec. I'm just gonna go to the standings. And yeah, so rec we only have 6 teams. Not a lot of things that happen. Mercenaries got a nice win. I'm gonna bring up the sketchy. I'm gonna show you guys the schedule to make it easier. 5v5 rec schedule. Okay, yeah. So again, not a lot happened. Week 10, pretty much nothing pretty much happened. We only had one game. You had Pass Holes versus Trap Stars 5. Trap Stars 5 take care of business. They went 28-20 versus Pass Holes. So big win for Trap Stars. Then you have Mercenaries versus Zero. That's going to be Mercenaries should take care of business. They're 5-1 right now. And then going into this week, week 11, we only have one game. You have Mercenaries versus First Down Snifflers. So again, that's going to be, I'm just going to make sure. Mercenaries should take care of business for that. I'm just going to look at the standings where it matters. So First Down Snifflers are 4-2. So that's going to be one of First Down Snifflers' biggest matchup coming far, and Mercenaries as well. So it's going to be a big game coming down. Again, for the people that don't know, everyone makes playoffs in this division, and I don't think there's any. But yeah, and the number 1 and number 2 seed get buys. So you're pretty much playing for buys, and if you don't get the buy, you're pretty much trying to get a better seeding and into the playoffs. You don't have to play the number one seed after your bye if you end up winning your first round. So that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna move on to 5v5 intermediate. So I'm gonna go to standings. Here we go. So we have 8 teams here. I actually got to watch a couple of these games this week. I'm going to go to schedule. I believe I saw CTE play. Um, CTE played Five Guys. I watched that game. That was in Stad Hubert. It was a pretty good game. Five Guys ended up taking business. They won 2019, came down to the last play. So that was pretty good. I was surprised CTE eventually lost that game regarding the roster that they did have. But again, Five Guys came out. They came out to play. They took care of business. They got the win. Moving on to the following week, Primo took care of business versus U16. That's also something that was interesting. I wanted to see how Primo was going to play versus U16, the B team. I got to watch that game too. I kind of wanted to see how the Quebec U16, the young kids were going to play. They ended up scoring 24 points, was still pretty good, but Primo scored 40. So when you score 40 points, the good chances that you are going to win. Blue Dry played Gamulus Anomalous, so Blue Dry just took care of business there. They won 36-20, and then X-Men plays CT. That's also a very good game I want to see as well. I want to see why CT is losing that many games, but they end up losing again. So X-Men took care of business, and they brought themselves to 5-2. Moving on to this week, there's a lot of games. We pretty much have a full schedule of games coming up. The most interesting game, it's going to be Blue Drive is playing. Yeah. So again, I think CT is a team where they shouldn't be 1-4 right now. I think they should be winning more games. So they play Blue Dry. They play Blue Dry at 6-1. So hopefully they are able to kind of get off their horses and start winning games. They also play Quebec U16A. So they play two big games for them. Hopefully they could win the next two. They actually played 3 games. So actually, CT has 3 games this week. They play on March 16th, 19th, and they play back to back on the 19th. So that's 3 games for them. So right now they have 5 games played. By next week they'll have 8 games played. So you're gonna see a better seeding for them, as well as Blue Dry just plays 1 game, and then Quebec 16B plays 2 games, and Quebec 16A plays 3 games as well. So a lot of these teams right now that have played 5 games, a lot of them are going to be playing. They're going to be playing 3 games this weekend. So the standings are kind of going to switch a bit, and we're going to kind of see who's at the bottom, who's at the top by the end of next week. So it's going to be interesting to see. And then I'm going to go to competitive 5v5. So I'm going to go to schedule. So we have 5v5. This is a division that I play in. We had a lot of games this week. Well, not a lot of games, but there's only I believe there are only 8 teams in this division. So there's a couple games that were interesting. Vengeance took care of business versus Team Quebec 18. High score game. Vengeance dropped 50 on them. Party Throwers kind of played the same night right after them. 2 hours later, I actually got to scorekeep both of these games. The Team Quebec team is good. They're young kids. It's U18, but really it's U17. So it's a bunch of 17-year-olds. Sometimes you have some 16-year-olds. So they're trying. They're gonna get much better moving forward. But the fact that they're playing, they're able to compete. They're able to score points against a lot of these veteran teams. A lot of these teams that do travel for nationals, that do national competitions, that go to the States, that do play versus higher caliber competitions, and they're able to score points against them. It just goes to show how good the talent-wise in Quebec is for the younger generation. So big shout out to them and their coaches to kind of to get them through this and get them kind of going and being able to experience this, be able to experience and be able to play versus these teams. Because back in the day, especially when I was U18, when I was playing tackle, flag was nowhere close to anywhere like this, and there was no way you're going to play versus talent the way that we have talent just for the adults for flag as well. So big shout out to them. They also played Team Quebec U18. I also played the next day as well. So they played on Saturday, they played on Sunday, they played versus Jameson's. Jameson took care of business. They won 47-26. So again, at least they scored 26 points. Again, it's hard to kind of adapt and play versus these older teams that have way more experience than you. But again, it's a learning process for them. And then you had Braves versus Flagmois, which is a big game for Flagmois because right now I believe they played the Braves twice and they beat them twice. So not a lot of times where you play versus a team twice and then you're like, oh, like usually you split the win. So they'll you beat them once and they'll beat them and then they'll beat you. But Flagmois gets both wins on the Braves, so that brings them a bit closer when it comes to playoffs coming down to it. I'm just gonna open up the standings here for you guys to see. So mine for standings. So Flagmois gets both of the wins on Braves. So it'll be hard for Braves to get that number one seed against Flagmois if they continue winning their games because they won't get the tiebreak. And then you have Vengeance at 5-1 as well. So that's going to be very interesting when they play. And then again, for competitive 5v5, everyone makes playoffs. It just depends. There's no buys. It just depends on seeding. So you want to be one of those top teams. No offense to Team Quebec A, Team Quebec B. You guys are easier matchup other than playing the middle of the pack in the first round playoffs. So you want to finish that 1 or you want to finish that 8 seed to make your life so much easier. And that's about it. And yeah, so so then coming into this week for that, I don't think I talked about coming into the game schedule for this week. Sorry, I'm just gonna quickly talk about it. So coming into week 11, you have Braves versus Team Quebec U18. Again, learning experience for Team Quebec. They're going to try their best, try to score some points. Braves is a very, very strong team, so hopefully they'll be able to score some points. You have the rematch between Rose versus Flagmois at Stade Hubert. That's going to be a good matchup. That's my team. That's where we're trying to get a little revenge right now on Flagmois, trying to jump the standings. And then you have Jamieson's that get to play Team Quebec 18B and Team Quebec 18A. So again, hopefully Team Quebec's able. Hopefully they can be able to do a upset. I think Jamieson's is probably one of the weakest teams in 5v5 right now. So you never know. Maybe one of these teams can get the upset, and if they don't, they can score enough points in them to kind of, get some momentum going into playoffs. And if Jameson could get these 2 wins for them, they also get a little boost into the standings. So that's about it for all the divisions. And yeah, so again, I'm Quaysie. Brent left. And just to kind of let you guys know, So just to let you guys know if any, so this is going to be episode 6. If you guys have any suggestions, just reach out to us. Again, we're going to try to improve the podcast every week. We're going to try to integrate new things. As we said, like right now we're doing the All-Star thing that we think is going to bring a bit of hype. We're going to start doing some other things to try to see, to bring some more attention, to get more interactions. We're also going to start sharing the podcasts on our Instagram, on our Instagram for Fly Plus, to kind of show you guys exactly when they come out, because a lot of people have told me that they're not even sure when the podcasts do come out, and they kind of just randomly see it on YouTube. So we're going to kind of share it there. We also have a Spotify account too as well. So instead of you guys kind of just watching me and Brent, you guys could end up just listening to us. So we're going to share that as well. We're going to try to share as much things as possible so you guys are able to entertain and also just get involved with us. And yeah, so I'm going to be signing out, and you guys have a good week. Peace.